Let's see what this is.
It's not until recently that we have been seeing the category Best Indie Game shine in the Video Games Awards show. And that is only a proof that this genre of games is finally having the big impact.
Yeah, one thing about me, I don't usually play a lot of indie games, so I'm kind of familiar with all of these. So this is something Hades, I forgot the name. And whatever this was in between was...
And that is only a proof that...
Yeah, I remember this one. This is like a puzzle game.
That this genre of games is finally having the big impact it deserves on the gaming industry. Independent developers from all over the world have been teaching us that you don't have to be a world-class studio with a bunch of millionaire investors and a huge team to create a good game. Sometimes...
I think, yeah, for indies, I think it's plausible to create like a good focused experiences for like 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes games. But really big ones, you're gonna have like exceptions, like maybe Minecraft or something, but generally, yeah. Something like this, just like this sequence, what is happening here, that's like 5 people and like a month or something.
All it takes is an idea and the dedication to this idea in order to compete, even on a small level, with these top AAA studios. The real beauty of indie games resides in the freedom it offers when it comes to development, meaning that without any real investors behind your back, you're free to take any type of risk that you want. Yes, you might lose your time and your own money, but this is nowhere near as stressful as big companies spending hundreds of millions of dollars with nerve-wracking deadlines and big expectations along the way. Just a while ago, one of the most beloved companies such as CD Projekt Red almost fell to the ground and broke due to the very high expectations their latest project Cyberpunk had, but unfortunately didn't meet the...
Yeah, actually, when Cyberpunk was released, I actually was one of the people that had not that many bugs. I don't know, nothing broke for me, nothing went crazy for me, so I actually had a decent experience with Cyberpunk. I don't know. I do remember like maybe once or twice having like some character glitching a little bit, but that's about it. Like for however long I was playing it, for like 20-30 hours, it was fine.
The hype. With that being said, as an independent developer, you'll have to choose your resources very effectively. Otherwise, you'll be met with failure at the end of the road. And one of the most important materials that you have to pick wisely is the gaming engine that you're going to develop your game on. Needless to say that you're going to build all of your projects on this engine. So you really don't want to mess around with that.
Oh my god. What was it called? The Blender game engine? Oh my god, I actually tried working with that one, but what was their system called? Yeah, I forgot. Let me Google this. They discontinued it, but Blender game engine. Oh, not this one. This one's probably a better version. Features, graphical logic editor. Oh yeah, this guy, can you see it? Oh my god, I tried working with this where you have like an input, then how input interacts like some logic, and then what it actually triggers, like a function or something. But it was so limited. I think I was struggling to create just like a 3D, like a simple first-person character controller, just so you can rotate around. Like you'd have to use Python or something to actually code the game. Oh yeah, I remember that. Holy crap. That was not good.
Usually, as an indie developer, you won't build your own gaming engine, as this task is particular, requires a lot of personnel and a lot of time to finish. That's why most indie developers tend to build their games on already existing engines. And since you're on a low budget, choosing a free engine as well is probably your best option. Not to mention that there is a bunch of really
I mean, now this isn't even an issue. Like most engines have some free version or a really low cost. Like I don't even know which engine you would now have to pay like hundreds of dollars or something. Like it's usually just like maybe subscription or like Unreal's model where you pay after you earn some income, and you pay just like a percent. So yeah, this isn't even an issue. I'm not even sure which game engines you would have to pay for that are worth paying for.
Powerful free gaming engines out there, such as Unity, Godot, Armory, and of course Unreal Engine. We are seeing a lot of people lately switching from many different gaming engines to Unreal Engine, especially indie games developers. First of all, Unreal Engine is easy to establish and start working on. When you open the engine for the first time, by choosing the third-person template, you will find that you're immediately playing a game with a character who has the ability to jump, walk, has physics, and all sort of stuff that makes you feel...
This is yeah, he's gonna say it right now. That's gonna make you feel like you're like progressing or you're, you know what you're doing or something.
Welcome to the engine. Of course, that
you're
game...
welcome to the engine, okay. Yeah, I think this is like a double-edged sword because you do get all of this stuff right in the beginning, but if you just start working on top of it and you have no idea what you're doing, you're a beginner, it's gonna be so confused, you'll have no idea how things work. That's kind of a nice thing when you start from scratch, where you know then how the character movement works, how the character controller works, stuff like that. But when they just give you kind of semi-completed, simple prototype character or whatever, yeah, it can kind of actually screw with people where they feel demotivated because they have no idea what's happening.
Game is very basic, has no story and no ending, but the fact that you can walk around inside the level, edit it, play around with its different elements is really engaging for someone who has just opened the engine for the first time, trying to develop his own game. So with a few tweaks here and there, you can use the default character to start actually testing your game without having to create a new character from the get-go. Not to mention that the editor in Unreal is so practical when you start to block out your scenes. And on top of that, the Megascans library has been directly integrated into UE5. All you have to do is to...
Yeah, I guess all of these features, yeah, give beginners kind of a little nice, but I think it makes it accessible for kind of hobbies or people that just want to try stuff. But it kind of also can demotivate a lot of people, I think, because yeah, you get all of this stuff, you kind of make your level, you have a character that runs around, and then you kind of feel absolutely lost, like you have no idea what to do, and then again you have to start from scratch and try to actually do stuff. But yeah,
open the Quixel Bridge plugin, choose one of the 16,000 free assets and surfaces, place them inside the editor, and you're good to go. One of the most important things that indie developers will love about Unreal Engine is the commitment to the community. Almost every week, the developers at Epic Games run a live broadcast where they discuss all the new features and updates regarding their engine. They're very useful and extremely engaging. Each week, there is 3 community spotlights, screenshots from their forums. Sometimes they conduct interesting interviews.
yeah, so for people that don't actually visit their YouTube channel, it's actually really nice. I think I can't even see, but I think I spent like probably at this point like hundreds of hours watching, because they have their like it's like a live stream, but they have like a stream where some professional from their team, maybe they were doing on something, working on something, they kind of introduce a new feature, they spend like 2 hours or something explaining it in depth, and it's really nice. So you can find like hundreds of videos like that. Yeah, so their actually YouTube channel is just like leagues above everyone else. They actually put a lot of content in there.
Views with people using the engine, including indie developers. This way, you will have the chance to see other people's projects and understand the real power of the engine. On top of that, every now and then, you'll find amazing discounts on the Unreal Marketplace with thousands of assets that you can purchase and integrate them in any way you want to in your game. There is just a good overall feeling surrounding the community of Unreal Engine. Always new stuff and updates keeping you in love with the software, and never too lazy to learn more about it. As an indie developer, you would want to see all the possibilities that the engine might offer you before you actually start...
I forgot, he just kind of talking in general. What is the video about? Good for indie games. Okay, we still didn't get to that, but you'll see, maybe we'll get
using it. In another word, you just want to see how far you can go with that engine. After all, if your game turns out to be a big success, you will try to build even a better game for your next project. And this is why Unreal Engine beats all the other engines out there.
Wait,
all
why?
You have project. If you just want to see how far you can go with that engine. After all, if your game turns out to be a big success, you will try to build even a better game for your next project. And this is why Unreal Engine beats all the other engines.
What? Okay, I'll be honest, this makes no sense to me. So basically he said if you if your project that you finish is a big success, then that's gonna motivate you to create an even better project, and that's something that Unreal has above other engines. Like what? Like if you finish in any engine something that is a big success, you're probably just gonna continue with that engine and try to create another big success. I don't get this point. Let's see.
out there.
I'm kind of
All you
lost.
have
I'll
to
be
do
honest.
is type games made with Unreal Engine in Google, and boom, tens of world-class successful games will pop up. Batman Arkham series,
Not tens of.
Bioshock, Gears of War series, Mass Effect series, Fortnite, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Not to mention all the new upcoming titles that are used in Unreal Engine 5, such as Black Myth, Mafia 4, and The Witcher 4. Seeing all of these titles will open up your imagination and take your dreams above the sky.
Yeah, but to be fair, there is also a good bunch of Unity single A and triple A games, and also a lot of garbage when it comes to Unreal games. Like you'll see a lot of like just beginner projects, stuff like that, where people just kind of try to do something quickly and of course fail, because yeah, even with Unreal you can't just what's the name for it? When you mash all of the assets, you just wait. There is a word. Something mash. Basically, when you just try to get a bunch of assets and try to mash them into one project and try to create something with it, you're probably just gonna fail. There is just no way.
Where you can actually fantasize to make a game that could be of the same quality as the ones mentioned above. Eventually, if you use engines other than Unreal, you will be using dozens of plugins and writing a lot of features to do things you'll create in seconds, like some sort of magic in Unreal Engine. Sometimes you will have to cooperate with the actual programmer to build an actual database tool, even of some features that we take for granted in Unreal, like placing foliage on landscape.
Wait, I just
And that
realized
is
my
worth
camera.
months of hard work that you could be putting into your game. With the blueprint system that Unreal presents, you will rarely need any new plugin or coding, unless you're working on something really new that has not been included in most third-party
Yeah, this kind I'm not really gonna be using plugins probably, especially if it's multiplayer, especially if there is like something specific. But yeah.
person in FPS genres. You will just feel that the engine gives you this freedom to focus more on the art side of your game other than programming. You don't have to worry about memorizing any syntax or misspelling any variables, which is very beneficial for an indie developer. Overall, we can say that the Unreal Engine, with its very powerful blueprint system, is the best solution for artists and designers to start seeing their projects come to life fast and smoothly. Even though it's hard not to recommend Unreal Engine to every new indie game developer, there's obviously some drawbacks that Epic Games needs to put more time into. For example, making a 2D game is not as easy as making a 3D game in Unreal. The engine is obviously lacking a lot in that department, and that is, as we stated earlier, due to the heavy focus that the engine gives to the 3D genre. So making a 2D game requires more work and research before you start seeing a good result of your craft. Something else that we have to talk
kind
about
of.
is all the competition that is going on right now between the Unreal Engine developers. Since a lot of indie developers and game makers switched over to Unreal, you'll have a tough time proving yourself and promoting your game, because it will be directly compared to other projects using Unreal Engine. And that could be very frustrating, as you need to spend a lot of time getting the best out of your engine to really match the quality that other people have perfected out there. Besides, Unreal is still very poor when it comes to modeling tools, so you'll have to use other.
To be fair, this is every game engine. I don't know which game engine has like modeling tools. Unreal is probably even wait, let me see. So Godot doesn't have anything, I don't think. Unity, I don't think has anything. It's called Lumberyard. I don't think that has anything. Which other big game engines are there? You have Construct. I don't think Construct has anything. You have like basic painting maybe, but since the engine is 2D, like I guess you have basic painting, but it doesn't have any modeling, so this is kind of like every engine ever. Unreal probably has the most robust modeling tools right now in engine. They're actually trying. They have the rigging tools now. You can actually rig characters, I guess. You can import static meshes and try to rig them in Unreal. I actually should maybe spend a bit of time on that. I just saw the tools that you have for it, and they're okay, I guess. But I would still choose Blender before Unreal for that. But yeah, okay.
Their software for that matter, such as ZBrush, 3ds Max, or Blender. Finally, we should note that having one complete and perfect engine to make any genre of video games
Oh yeah,
is a little bit unrealistic.
the
And
lights
having
just work.
Unreal Engine to be at the top of the pyramid when it comes to the 3D genre of games is actually an amazing achievement that every indie artist should actually celebrate. Because after all, this will help developers to accomplish the most important task of all: make better games come to life.
Okay, I'll be honest. I have no idea what this video is about. I think 4 minutes in, he was just talking about game development generally, and then said few vague things that I don't think I even agree about. Like if you make a big success, you're gonna, yeah, all of that. Okay, final thoughts, a bit vague. I'm not even sure if this, let me actually see, maybe I'm calling this person out. Maybe he's working in Unreal, let's see. Yeah, I think this guy is just reviewing, just saying, reviewing games and stuff like that. Just saying which game engines, which game uses, I guess. Yeah, just the feel from the video is that this person, I think, is working on, because he was making all of the points that a person that is watching or maybe just reading an article about why or why not Unreal is good, that he just picked up some points and then created his own video about it. But yeah, okay, let's. Ooh, let's not too close. Oh my god, one day I'm gonna click that and it's gonna be awful.